Hey, Topsy.
Okay. That sounds good. All right. Yep, yep. Yeah, we'll do it right away. We'll do it right away. Boys ready?
It's an untucker.
Oh.
By the way, it looked good.
All right, good morning. We'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll start with the approval of the minutes from January 9th. Those are presented. Any corrections?
I looked those over, I didn't see anything.
I'm good.
I'll make a
Alright.
motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All right, further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Let's see, as far as reports, let's move into the, we've got our wastewater adjustments that are there for your perusal. No action required. And we will start with our oaths of office from the Redevelopment Commission. City Attorney's going to do that for Brad Johnson, who's appointed from the Civil Corporation, and Mike Clondaris. So you fellas want to come up front? And
So Brad and Mike will have you stand right here with them. In front of or behind? That's perfect, right there. All right.
Oh, wait.
Please raise your right hand. I, Mike Connors, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will
impartially,
impartially
and diligently discharge
and diligently discharge
my duties as a member of the Redevelopment Commission
the duties of the member of the Redevelopment Commission
of the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
of the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
according to law
according to law
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Now we need a signature real quick. Get signatures. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Brad.
Welcome. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it for reports, and there's no unfinished business.
So who do I thank for making me vice president?
Yeah, no, it's, hey, though, thanks for doing it. We love it. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
We'll see you at redevelopment.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brad. All right, we'll start our new business. We've got a road closure request. Fat and Skinny Tire Festival is going to host a race in downtown Warsaw on Friday night. And there will be street closures that I would like their committee, Greg, to come up, Greg Demopoulos, to come up and talk about those road closures as we consider that. So, Greg?
All right. Thanks, Joe. Thank you guys very much. It's hard to believe we're less than 4 months away from Fat and Skinny Tire Fest. So with the weather today, it kind of feels like it's a ways out, but spring's on its way. So we're excited because this will be the 18th annual Fat and Skinny Tire Fest. We've, for several years, had events downtown. After a 3-year hiatus because of the pandemic, we brought it back last year. Last year we held the kids events, the BMX stunt show, and music downtown. We want to bring back the racing. We used to have the time trial that went out to Boggs, to Zimmer, but we're going to forego that. That's a bit too much of an undertaking, but go back to the old downtown days of having the race around downtown with live music, the kids events, the BMX stunt show kind of right here in the middle. So the request for road closure is actually very similar to what we've done in the past, but expanding a little bit more for the road race this year. And it's actually in a staged sequence. So hopefully you guys got the maps and the request. Andy Cochran's been working with Joel Beam to go through those. We've talked with the chamber because, as you know, you'll hear a little bit later some of the requests for road closures for third Friday as opposed to first Friday. And so we'll be working with Scott and the chamber team to do a lot of the entertainment type stuff. And so we'll be piggybacking off of that as well for this. But the road closures themselves, specifically to Fat and Skinny with the race, there's 3 stages, 3 phases. So 2 o'clock is typically when the blocks north, south, east, and west, specifically from the Center Street and Buffalo Street intersection, we start to cone off spots after the lunch rush is done. And that allows us to then start to get things into place. We'll be working again, like I said, with the chamber, with Third Friday, because they'll have vendors and things that need to be set up, like the tent for the beer garden and music and those kinds of things. So those will be taking place in that kind of cross section there. That's at that 2 p.m. footprint. Then at the 4 p.m. footprint, that is starting to stage the barricade that will be needed for the road racing course. So just to kind of highlight the road racing course itself, start finish, we'll start right outside of City Hall on Center Street. They will come down Buffalo, turn left on Market, left on Indiana, then a left on Main, come down to Lake over to Center, and loop, kind of like a R shape. So at 6 o'clock, after the rush hour traffic has come through, that's when we will actually close off. There's 3 spots that we were concerned with: Lake, Market, and then right in front of the fire station. And we know the fire station is willing to stage elsewhere, but we want to keep that open as long as possible till we have to do that. And really what we're looking at is we'll start to put some of the tape and barricade up along the sidewalk, but then waiting last minute to close the roads themselves, so that way traffic has as much time to come through as possible. But we also have to recognize USA Cycling will be on site, so their officials will need time to check the course, make sure it's safe, and then give riders about 30 minutes of warm-up time before the first race starts, which we're shooting for 7:30. That allows us then to get multiple categories in. We'll have lights in place for the last couple races because it will be kind of twilight. So that's why they call it a twilight criterium, with the goal of wrapping up between 10 and 10:30. So that way we have time to completely tear down and have the roads back open by midnight. So
We've spent some time with this. I talked to Chief Holderman about Station 1, and they're willing to stage their fire trucks possibly at Station 2 or elsewhere. But I didn't want to make that happen till around 6 o'clock. So we want to keep that fire station open till 6 o'clock. I also talked to Greg about maybe keeping Lake Street open till 6 or even a little later if we can. That helps folks navigate up to Market Street to get over to Detroit, because that's going to be a busy time of day. And Market Street will stay open till 6 o'clock, so people leaving work will have Market and Fort Wayne Street to get over to 15 and to get through town. So we've worked on a lot of the details, and I imagine there will be more details and changes to this. But I appreciate them staging this at 2, 4, and 6 and trying to minimize the disruption to downtown But I would liken this to a Grand Prix race in a downtown where there's a lot of activity, and it's just going to be a wonderful event. And hopefully we can make it easy for folks to get downtown and enjoy this after they've navigated through town when work lets out. So anything else? I know they worked with Joel on this. Questions?
Sounds like police and fire have approved it, so. What do you think?
Yeah, good. Really appreciate it. I'll move to approve the request.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And Greg, I know you and your group have been great at keeping in touch with us as maybe we have changes or we have some special requests.
Yep.
And just ask that you continue to work with us as we get closer. It's going to be a great evening.
Absolutely,
But it'll take everybody working together, so,
for sure.
all right.
Thanks, Joe.
And
Thank
thanks,
you, guys.
Nick. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Scott?
Thank you. Yes, we have 3 different road closures we'd like to apply for. The first one would be for the third Fridays from April to September for Third Friday celebrations this year.
Scott, would you kind of explain moving from first to third Fridays, just in general?
Sure. Yeah, Rob Parker, our president, he thought that would be a very good idea because we always run into holidays. We run into Labor Day, Memorial Day. We run into so many different conflicts with the first Fridays. We thought, you know what, if we moved to third Fridays, we would avoid a lot of different conflicts that people have to choose which thing to go to. So by going to third Fridays, we hope to eliminate those conflicts.
Okay, thank you.
And so, yes, those are, and then also so that'll be April through September. And then in October, we'll have Spooktacular. So that date is actually the last Friday in October, October 27th. And then our Christmas celebration will actually be the first Friday in December or December 1st. And the roads that will be closed will be the standard Center Street from Indiana to Lake, and Buffalo from Main Street to Market.
Questions?
No? Did you have any questions?
No, I'm happy with it. I appreciate you guys coming in early and getting these all laid out.
Oh, thanks.
I'll move to approve the road closure request.
Second.
All right.
All right, thank you very much.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Item 5 is Community Economic Development Director Jeremy Skinner. I don't believe Jeremy's here today. This is a pay application to Warsaw Chemical. You might remember the refinancing that we did with our wastewater bonds to assist in the environmental cleanup. And this is a pay application for that, in the amount of $13,635. So, questions?
No, I'll move to approve that pay app.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Got some travel requests. Denny?
We've got 4 travel requests for this meeting, 2 from the fire department, 2 from wastewater. Firefighter Nair is going to be going to some training days down in Lexington in March. Drew Schilling is getting his dry suit repaired. It's got to be done over in Ohio. And then we've got 2 from the wastewater that are going to be going down to the Indiana Safety and Health Conference. I expect we're going to see a lot more of those at the next meeting. We're trying to get a group to go down together. So.
All right, questions?
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
We got the
New hire and
report that we
change
walked
report,
through.
yes.
Yeah. So, been busy bringing on new members for our teams. We've got Renee Salyer as the new board member for the planning department.
Plan Commission.
Plan Commission, yes, sorry. Let's see, we've got 2 new employees out of wastewater, Eric Graham and Randy Van Poyen, both maintenance technicians, which has filled that position up now, so we were happy about that. We hired a gentleman to be the custodian groundskeeper out at the police department. That's been it's been a focus for the police department for a little while to get somebody out there to help take care of that building, so we found the right fit and got that position taken care of. And then Jeffrey Smith will be a new equipment operator out of the street department. I forgot to put his wage in there. It's $21 an hour.
21 even?
21 plus the $1 CDL, so it'll be 22 total. 20 and 21? Okay, sorry, 21 total. It's been a day.
Checking your head higher.
We will also have Montana Gardner starting. She will be my new assistant to help keep me on track because I've had a lot going on. So she will be starting at the end of this month. And then we had Robbie Craig out at the street department. He was a supervisor, decided that that wasn't the best role for him and just wanted to go back to being an operator. So he resigned his supervisor position.
All right, questions?
No, I'll move, we accept the new hire change report as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Denny. Item 8, I don't believe there's anybody here from the farmer's market. This is just our annual contract with them to provide the space, close the road, and provide parking lot and the restrooms for their group. They will be operating starting May, first Saturday in May through the last Saturday of October. No real changes there.
No changes, I assume Scott looked this over.
I did.
Okay. I'll move we approve the agreement.
Second.
All right. Further discussion? I will say I have been meeting with the group, and they're excited to get started again this year. I think they've got more vendors coming, and they are also interested in a Wednesday market. And, you know, I don't know if we put that in here. They want to use the just the City Hall parking lot on Wednesdays for a second day. I don't believe that is in here. That just came up. Let me look through.
Yeah, we only have the Saturday in this agreement.
Okay, let's go ahead with this one, and then if we need to bring a separate agreement in for the Wednesday, is that reasonable? All right, let's do it that way. All right. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
And then Mayor, point of order on the, I probably missed it, but the, related to road closures and events with the spectacular and Christmas celebration.
Yeah, those were all included.
It's all included
Yeah,
in
thanks for bringing that up.
Okay, thank
No,
you very
I
much.
should have mentioned it. They're all the same closures, and he pointed them out separately.
Okay.
But I should have indicated that we were voting on all 3 of those. Do you have any concerns about
No, I
those?
don't. I just wanted to make
Okay.
sure. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so that's what we'll do. Larry, how you doing?
Good.
All right, you're up.
This is our annual maintenance agreement with Anderson Property Management for Central Park. There's 18 sites, 24 flower beds, 21 urns. We've had them do this since 2012. It is a March to November contract or agreement for fertilization, watering, weed control, plant replacement, annual planting and ball plantings, and then greenway for the holidays, and greenery for the holidays in the urns as well. So the fee has remained the same over the years, so I would ask you to approve this again.
Questions?
No, I'll move we approve the agreement, Anderson.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, great.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Justin?
Morning. I submitted for your approval the proposal from JPR. This is for streetscape improvements along Buffalo from Center to Market and along Center Street from Buffalo to Indiana. This is part of the refresh that we did of our streetscape to kind of solve some of the issues we were seeing with our aging streetscape downtown. With this agreement, they'll be able to piggyback on some of the surveying work they're already doing in our downtown, so there's a little bit of a cost savings there to get them started on this as well. So I just ask that you approve that.
Questions? I know we've been working and meeting a lot to get this done, and this is kind of the final step before we actually can go to construction. As Justin has indicated, these streetscapes were put in back in the early 2000s as part of the Hyatt Palma study, and they've served the community well, but over time we've discovered there may be some maybe modifications that might make them a little bit easier for folks to navigate on the streets, or excuse me, on the sidewalks. So we're incorporating those designs into this. So it's a result of a lot of planning.
I move to accept.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks. Okay. Sherwin, how we doing?
Doing well, and you, sir?
Thank you.
I'm here for L&L Taxi. They have completed out the necessary paperwork for an additional permit. There are 4 drivers for this vehicle. All 4 of them have a valid license. The vehicle has passed inspection. The insurance is current, and the registration is also valid. I would make a recommendation to the board that a permit be granted.
All right, any questions?
Yeah, I'll move to approve based on your recommendation.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Chief?
Mayor, on October 21st, the police department came to the board and requested authorization to apply for 2 grants. One was with the K21 Health Foundation, and the other is with the Community Foundation. Both those foundations received a grant that was submitted by the officers behind me. I brought a couple of Warsaw's finest with me to discuss the grants, but I guess for the purpose of the meeting, item 11, which is the K21 Health Foundation grant, the police department was awarded $51,579. And from item 12, from the Kosciuszko Community Foundation, the police department was awarded $15,000.
Okay,
So
and
prior
those
dates.
numbers have changed because we had to add something in the middle there, so it's 12 and 13. We will entertain that motion, but let's hear from your folks about that.
So Ryan Coble and I applied for the grants. What this is going to allow us to do is streamline the equipment that we're using between the police department, the fire department, and now the county as well. The gear that the divers were using, specifically from the police department, was extremely outdated. We were running into a lot of maintenance issues, unable to get parts to fix gear. We were running into issues happening when divers were underwater and gear malfunctioning. So this is going to allow us to update all of our gear, kind of start fresh, and then we can get on a plan to start replacing some of that more frequently. This also allows us then to utilize gear between the different departments when we're on a scene together. If the fire truck has something that a police officer needs, we'll be able to just use the gear that they have as well.
Okay, thanks, Paige.
And also, this gear is going to be not only citywide, but countywide. The Warsaw Dive Teams recently entered into a mutual aid agreement with the Sheriff's Department. So what that means is not only are we going to be training together every month, but we're also going to be deploying together as one team for call-outs. So this is going to give us that equipment that we need to really make us one of the best dive teams equipped in the state.
Great. Any questions for Ryan or Paige? All right, thanks for coming, talking to us, appreciate it.
Good equipment and cooperation, good to hear.
I certainly appreciate the K-21 and the foundations,
Yeah.
community foundations. So with that, anything else, Scott, before we entertain those motions?
I'd just like to personally thank, both Officer Page and Detective Sergeant Coble for their efforts and the work they put in on this grant, so above and beyond their regular duties. And the work that Fire Chief Garrett Holderman's done with the dive team as well, behind the scenes and collectively bringing this unit together. And obviously, I think we're excited to be able to work with the Sheriff's Department. They're growing their team as well, so as we continue to grow ours. So it's great that we have this mutual aid agreement as well.
Yeah, appreciate it. I know we've had a lot of discussion about this, and we've worked to try and incorporate all those dive teams and make it a kind of a functioning single unit. And with the addition of the county dive team, it'll just add to our efficiencies. So let's start with item 12, which would be request to accept the K-21 grant. And that would be in the amount of $51,579.
I'll move to accept that grant.
All right. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. And then item 13 would be a request to accept the Kosciuszko County Community Foundation grant in the amount of $15,000.
I'll move to accept I'll move we accept the grant from the foundation.
I'll second.
Did you understand that, Joe?
I did.
All
I
right,
second
great.
that.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it. All right, Dustin, pay app number 2 for Lindbergh Drive. That's a
Morning,
big one.
everybody. Yeah, this is pay application number 2 for Finn and Brown, the amount of $561,564.65 for work that has been done with this as part of the Community Crossings Grant project that we had on Lindbergh Drive. That is still currently going on. We'll finish up in the spring, but this is work performed basically from October through the end of November there for this billing cycle. So there'll be more to come, hopefully here pretty soon, because the asphalt work, the paving work, the curb and gutter, the sidewalk, all that work has been finished right now as well. So it's moving right along. Project is going to be finished up with some dirt work, some grass seeding, some sod work, and mailbox replacements once they come in as well, but nearing completion.
Questions?
No, and just thanks again, I've said it countless times, to not only Dustin, but the mayor, the plan department, looking in the direction of established neighborhoods and people I represent. I really appreciate that. So it's just so nice to see that for those people. So thank you. With that, if it's okay, any questions or?
No.
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
All right. Any final comments?
I will say just real quick that we did have City Engineer Arenado has went through this and inspected everything as well as myself to make sure that everything was
Work's been done.
completed.
Yep.
So.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Thank you very much.
Just go ahead.
Go ahead.
We're trending to come in under contract on that job. Which is great. There's been some things that we could value, get value engineer or whatever out of there to save the city.
Great.
Thanks.
Guys.
That's always good to hear. Coming in under budget. All right. No special claims. So we'll entertain a motion to approve the claims docket.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I had further questions. You?
Good. Thank you.
I'll move we accept the claims docket as presented.
Second.
All right, good. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Any other items to be carried forward?
I have a question.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
comment. So, with the impending maybe lapse of position for fire chief, we're gonna have to have some kind of approval for someone in the fire department to sign claims if there's an interim between the old and the new, and to pay, sign for payroll as well.
Okay. I'm not sure how that's going to play out, whether we'll have someone in place or not. With that, I will have to we'll probably just go down the line and make it the assistant chief to sign. So that would be my recommendation at this point. And I think we need to do that just because of the timing issue. So moving from the chief signing the claims to the assistant chief signing the claims.
And the territory board wouldn't have to approve that? Probably not, since we're,
With us being the provider unit,
Yeah.
it's important that we do it now. We'll probably consider it at the Fire Territory Board meeting.
right, okay, just.
So, and it may or may not be important if we have a chief named by then and in place, then that won't be an issue.
Yeah,
So, but that would be my recommendation for you to consider.
yes.
All right, so I need a motion for that.
Be specific what you want. And then I'll.
I just need the assistant chief to be able to sign the claims because we may not have a chief
Good.
And the payroll, yeah.
on the payroll. Yep.
So moved.
All right,
Thank you,
I'll
Mayor.
second that.
all right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor, next time we meet, another year of deer reduction will be complete. And officers here this morning, I was going home from church the other day, and you guys were there on a call. And just this week, I had to call police department, and great assistance from the leadership all the way up at the top. Council support, we've got 2 council members here. It's been another good year, and I'm constantly reminded of all the people that are involved to make this work. So thank you for that. I'll probably have a report for the Board of Works and the council for you guys on how we did, that kind of thing. I may even bring in Todd Braddock, who's taking some lead here, but Brian, thanks everybody for your assistance with this great program. So, another
All right.
year.
Thanks, Jeff.
Jeez. So,
How many years?
wow, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, 12, 30. I mean, it's just, remember you and I started years
Yep.
trying to put it together, and it's really a good thing, so thank you.
All right, guys, thanks again for coming in.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Fat and Skinny being downtown Friday. Be a great event, and thanks for your time and effort and planning.
Thank you guys.
All right. All right, with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Hey, Aaron.